In the second edition of The Accidental Salesperson, Chapter 5 is entitled, Why You Must Quit Making Sales Calls. Not a title you'd expect in a best-selling sales book, but I quickly give this advice: start making and counting scheduled sales conversations. In the second edition of The Accidental Salesperson, Chapter 5 is called Why You Must Quit Making Sales Calls. Not a title you'd expect in a sales book, but then I give people the advice: you've got to start making and counting SSCs, or scheduled sales conversations. Now, earlier you learned about engagement metrics. The number of prospects who have you on their calendars for a next step is a leading indicator of sales success. Chapter 5 of The Accidental Salesperson is called Why You Must Quit Making Sales Calls. Instead, I advise salespeople to start making and counting SSCs, scheduled sales conversations. Think in terms of engagement metrics. The number of prospects who have you on their calendars for a next step is the leading indicator of sales success. Now, the magic question is what you ask when someone says, I'm interested, but call me next week. And you say, are you willing to work with me on a calendar basis? That's the magic question. Get it on both of your calendars. Here's the important distinction you've got to make. Real prospects will put you on their calendars for a next step. Information seekers will let you or make you chase them down. So you want to perform sales pipeline angioplasty. And that's what I call the skill of getting stalled deals moving and dead deals out of your pipeline. So angioplasty is when you get the artery unclogged. In this case, you're getting your sales pipeline unclogged, because sales pipelines are clogged with dead and dying deals. There's lots of activity at the top. This is the funnel, the pipeline, and very few closes coming out the end. Now, research from Chief Sales Officer Insights, and they surveyed 1,332 chief sales officers and found that 90% of projected deals don't close when they're projected to close, and 54% of them don't close at all, even if the salesperson had them in his or her projections at 75% or more sure to close. And 30%, so this is 54, 30, and 24, 30% of them go to a competitor. Those are the ones that don't close, and 24% of the ones that don't close go to a no decision. So nothing happens. All right. So quick question is the best subject line I found for what I call the magic email. And in my seminars, I'll say, do I remind you, a quick question, do I remind you of a movie star that you may have seen? And usually after 15 or 20 seconds, someone will say, Bruce Willis, you look a little bit like Bruce Willis. All I want you to do is remember, quick question. That was comic relief. So then you write the radar email. And I had a guy named Cliff, and he'd gone dark. He was threatening to buy a seminar from me. And I finally, just after 3 or 4 weeks of not hearing from him, I emailed him and said, I have you on my waiting for list of people I'm expecting to hear back from. Am I still on your radar? And he got back to me in 45 minutes. He called me from Seattle. He said, Chris, I've been slammed. I'll be back in Madison, Wisconsin on Wednesday. Let's have breakfast at the Parkway Grill and we'll get this done. I'm sorry. But he says, you're good. Now, I've taught this on 4 continents. Every time I teach it, someone says, that really works. So use the magic email. But the magic question keeps information seekers from getting into your projections, because you don't put people who aren't engaged with you into your projections. And this will get stalled deals moving and dead deals out of your pipeline. Somebody might answer, no, you're not on my radar. We went with someone else. At least you got them out of your pipeline. You're not worried about them anymore. But a lot of people will say, yeah, I just been busy, so let's get together next week. And now you've got the stalled deal moving. So you've got 2 things, a magic question and the magic email. And that's how you keep your pipelines more pristine.